The 5 daily questions will guide you to tune into your body, tune into your cycle, also tune into the moon, and tune into your inner woman. And I like to add that as like, you know, bringing just that other aspect to charting, that when I chart my cycle, I chart my cervical fluid, or like I call my yoni nectar. And I chart my temperatures, and, you know, I keep in tune with where my cervix is at. So I chart my, you know, my biological fertility signs, but I also chart, you know, where are the emotional cycles taking me? Where is my inner woman in this phase? And that's really where we can use the phases of our menstrual cycle to really sort of, I would say, awaken, mature, and sort of ride the waves of initiation that show up through our bodies. So pre-ovulation, ovulation, premenstrual phase, and the bleeding phase each have their own flavor. And, you know, I do have sort of you'll see if you go to my website, like I have a picture that shows like a comparison to the season. So pre-ovulation with spring, ovulation with summer, pre-menstrual phase with fall, and the bleeding phase with winter. And that's a good place to start. But what I really would encourage everyone to do is use the 5 daily questions to find out what it feels like for you. Is because depending on what's really coming up for you, your ovulation phase may feel like your downtime. For some women, I find that depending what's coming up for us, the phase that will be the hardest or draws the most is where we have an initiation to work with. And sometimes when we're, for example, trying to conceive and we're not feeling like we're creating what we most want in life, ovulation can also become a painful point. Like almost like there's all this creative energy that we don't feel like it's channeled out, and it can turn into like a holding pattern at that phase in our cycle. So the phases will also feel differently depending on where we are in our life, what's happening, how are we feeling, what's, you know, happening in our inner woman. So I really think it's important to use questions that allow you to tune into, what is it like for me today? What does it feel like for me to be, you know, a pre-ovulation woman with this connection to my inner woman, with this connection to my feminine center? And by feminine center, I'm speaking to the whole universe in your pelvic bowl. So your womb, but also your ovaries and the whole energetic landscape of your yoni, your pelvic floor, and everything that's in there, which is really the birthing place of a baby, but also the birthing place of the woman you came here to be.